And welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I am Alex Midway, and real football is back. We had football on Friday, but those two loser franchises, one even more loserish than the other.
Did you catch that halftime show?
Which one was it?
The one in Brazil.
No, but what is it? As amazing as it sounds?
It was pretty incredible, and it looked like a young Shakira from the dinner table where I was not supposed to be watching the game. Fair
enough. It wasn't the, what's it called? The Cuban lady's like, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump doing a halftime show.
I prefer her. I preferred her follow-up hit of, please, Mr. Trump, why are you doing this to my family?
We did not think he would deport us. It's like, really? Why did you not listen to his speech?
It's like they're just going off skin color and not by our crimes.
Or lack of crimes.
Every time that lady pops up on my feed, I'm just like, you know what? At least we get some karma out of this.
My new guilty pleasure is farmers. Farmers who say, don't make it political. We need to deal with this situation right now. It's not about who we voted for. Let's not make this political. It's like, wrong.
Yeah, if you went out there, splashed a bunch of gasolines around your crops, lit it on fire, and then turned to the government and went, help, because essentially that's what you did with your vote.
Now is not the time to look at who started this fire. Now is the time to put it out. Like, It's self-inflicted.
It's like if I go to the bank and I'm like, I need a loan. I'm all out of money. And they're like, well, what happened? And I'm just like, coke-fueled rampage in Vegas. Yeah. Been there for 2 straight months. Yeah. I'm like, but let's not get into the whys and hows, okay? Don't make this political, Mr. Banker. Idiot, you did this. This is you.
Like, you literally have a bunch of, hardworking Latin people. You're paid under the table because not a single white person would take it for $20 an hour or give you even a fraction of a productivity. He's like, hell yeah, I'm all about deporting these idiots.
Yeah, I voted for the economy, and now that we don't have one, please give me monies. And you know what? I say, I'll tell every one of those farmers, you dirtbag socialists, you should stop spending your money on avocado toast and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Maybe you shouldn't have bought that new John Deere tractor with air conditioning in it. Roll down your windows next time.
Which you can't maintenance because it's a factory-only maintenance plan, and their factory's still on strike as far as I know.
Hey now. We're back, baby!
We're back. We made it great again.
So, let's talk about other things that are outstanding in this country, and that is Tesla stock. Last we left you guys, it was $338, and it climbed all the way to $354 on the news that the Tesla market share has dropped to its lowest level since 2017. It's since actually went down from $354 to $347. But so at the height, Tesla accounted for about 80% of the EVs sold in the country. And for the first time since 2017, it's actually dropped down under 40%, and it was at 38%. And honestly, 38% still a pretty large number given the fact of what the owner has said and the amount of other EVs there. Like, they still have a pretty good lion's share of the entire market. It's wild.
Yeah, it's kind of, at one point, you didn't really have anywhere else you could go for the fully electric. But now that there's other options out there and your pumpkin of a owner is just alienating his whole customer base, it is still kind of wild there at 38%.
Yeah. Like, with all the things that he said, with all the competition that's there, like, they're closer to half the market than they are to 1/3 the market. And with all the stuff he said, and again, it's a really nice car. It's a really a-hole type of owner.
Yeah, I mean, but where is it coming from? Like, nobody's buying new Teslas, and all the Cybertrucks, have already been spat on and flicked off.
Maybe it's a very constructive housekeeping as far as books are concerned.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is if there's some sort of, these government contracts we heard about where sheriff's departments were going to get cyber trucks and stuff. That's the only thing I can think of. I have not seen a new Tesla, period.
I've seen a bunch. The little Model Ys are all over the place. You can tell, like, they have the headlights that go across the entire front.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're still there. I'm not seeing them at about 40% of them out there, but I don't know. Like, Cadillac has it, Chevy has it. Like, there's other options from a highest end of the spectrum. There's a freaking all-electric Hummer. Like, when you have that option versus that weird 16-bit Cybertruck, like, I'm getting a Cybertruck. Like, you're an idiot. Get a Hummer.
Yeah. Also, you're an idiot if you go with an electric Hummer.
From what they said, like, its range is horrible. Like, the amount of batteries that need to be, like, mined, it's like half the Amazon every time they build one of these things.
It's the dumbest, most road unfriendly vehicle ever made. A guy has one down my block, and whenever it's parked on the street, every time I walk by it, I still go, God, I would murder for one of these. I wanted so bad, an old H1.
Yeah. It has completely zero, like, rational use for it, just like the original Hummer did. It was a military thing. It wasn't meant to be efficient. It was meant to go climb a mountain to kill people. Like, that's what it did very well. And then some a-hole down in Santa Monica is like, I want that.
Well, an a-hole in a state that we're not going to mention also wants one still. And the thing sticks out. Like, if you see it parked next to another car, like he's parked on the street, it sticks out like a city bus next to a smart car.
Well,
It is stupid enormous.
It's ginormous, and that's what it's meant to be. Like, egregiously large. Like, I would like it even if it didn't do that crab walk. I think the crab walk thing's the coolest.
Yes.
Where the wheels turn 45 degrees. But the fact, like, it's higher than everybody else, and you can be like, it's an electric. Be like, dude, the footprint of that thing and how much damage you did to this planet, you could drive that thing for 6 generations. You still won't come close to it.
The families that died in that cobalt mine to get you the batteries needed for that piece of junk.
It's a whole family tree for each one of them that, like, is made.
Yeah. So, but you know what? It gets better gas mileage than the 3 miles per gallon it was getting on the H1. So,
yeah.
I guess progress is progress.
They are fun to drive. I'll give them that. It's like the first Ford Raptor. A buddy of mine had one back in the day. He's like, this is completely the most pointless car, but every time I drive it, it rules.
Yeah. It's like a gun. I don't need it. I just want it.
And I don't want to go for any kind of training on my way to get one.
No. What kind of idiot countries would do something like that?
It's dumb. So, speaking of dumb things, let's find out. So, stock's going up and down. A bunch of the shareholders are wondering what's happening. And they're pulling a book out of the, they're pulling a page out of the old book. Where remember we talked about this? How they gave Elon that giant incentive back in the day to make Tesla profitable. And he did it. And they're trying to do the same thing again, except this time the compensation's close to about $1 trillion. And one of the things that Elon has to hit is currently the company's about $1.2 trillion in market capital. They want him to bring it up to 8.5 in the next decade. And that's a lofty goal. And I don't know. I honestly don't know if he can stop doing stupid S and just for money. Like, he's got so much. It's not like he needs it. But the thing about rich people, this is their heroin, is getting more money.
Well, speaking of heroin, you remember I would come to you with my frustrations from my junkie ex-wife and how just logic's not really like part of you were the one who first told me, you were like, logic's not part of this mental process. Like, it's just sort of is what it is.
Yeah.
I imagine this is what it's like with Elon in that K-hole. I think, honestly, if they could just put him in a K-hole he couldn't come out of, essentially put him in a coma for 10 years, I'd say just give him the $1 trillion. He's the problem.
Yeah. just turn off his Twitter account. Be like, dude, if you stay off of Twitter for 2 days, $100 million. Like, not happening. I'm tweeting right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah.
I just tweeted this, and also all the people I blame for the world's problems. But that's
speaking
just
of a world's problems, time for Ukraine update. Israel's making a really strong case for a war crime tribunal, but Russia is saying, hold our missiles. The fact that they've went ahead and launched a glide bomb at a building in the eastern Donetsk region, and they killed 12 pensioners waiting to get their retirement checks. Or as Russian TV will probably going to call it, a successful strike against a gathering of Nazis in an area that Ukraine invaded.
Yeah, running theme to this episode, spoiler alert, is going to be all depending on which news broadcast you're listening to.
It's there's facts and there's alternative facts, and sometimes we have facts and sometimes we have alternative facts.
Well, counterpoint to Russia, look at all the money Ukraine just saved by not having to pay out those retirees.
There you go. You also aren't building back any of the infrastructure because it's just going to get bombed again, so that's future savings.
Yeah. If you're glass half full, unlike the rest of these dirtbag pessimists.
So,
Jesus.
Sky half full. It's let's talk about this. It's ever since that Alaskan summit, Putin has done nothing but ramp up his attacks. And just over this weekend, before they went ahead and killed a bunch of pensioners, they launched 810 drones and another 13 missiles. And they launched them in multiple targets all over Ukraine, but they also went after Kyiv, the capital, and they went after essentially the equivalent of a parliament building. And this got the old Donald angry, and he's ready to rock and roll. He told reporters that he was ready to move on to the next phase of sanctions against Russia. He threatened secondary tariffs on major Russian trading partners and other sanctions if Moscow did not make peace with Ukraine soon. And I don't know about you, but I feel like we're past the first 24 hours of his presidency when he said this thing would be done.
Not gonna lie, it seems like he's Chuck Schumering a little bit here. He's coming off super weak, and turns out his stern words are mean less than nothing.
It's like at first when you tell your kid when they're 6, you're like, no, you're on timeout. And I go, ah! And then they're on timeout. And then they become a teenager and you say, like, you're on timeout. Like, F you, Dad. And they just storm off. You're like, huh, I really don't have a follow-up to that one. Like, what happens if they don't do what I tell them to? It's like, I got nothing.
This is this is that parenting where you see it in Target or one of those other stores we're not boycotting anymore. Mm-hmm. Where you see him, you're like, you need to settle down. 1, 2, 2.5.
Kid's literally setting a fire in the aisle. So he's like, 2 3/4.
Yeah, where what they really need is that fatherly touch of, where you just lift a kid off the ground. You're like let me explain to you the danger you're in right now.
Like, weird, but number thing's not working, but we're just slowing down the counting is your way of dealing with them?
Huh.
So, again, if you're wondering if that same policy from Target is working with Russia, let's just go ahead and say that both Putin and his official mouthpiece, Dmitry Peskov, came out and said that sanctions don't work. But Peskov took the time to blame Ukraine and the West for keep telling Washington to keep ramping up sanctions. This is essentially the same thing as like when a school bully's bringing up how your mother's weight, her lack of appeal and carefree attitude when it comes to sex, and you say, that doesn't affect me, but you're like, hey, by the way, can you guys stop doing that as well? Like, which one is it, man?
Yeah, obviously you have to go with the no sell. You were one of those kids, as I was, where if you show even a little bit of this bothers me, we are going to pound it into the ground.
Oh yeah, like I have my marching orders. Like, oh, okay, that affects you. Like, cool. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, we were jerks as kids, but also jerks as adults. So
hasn't changed. I'm gonna be a jerk as an old man, and I'll be able to get away with it even more. He's like, oh, he's just senile. Like, I'll be tripping kids. Like, it's not gonna matter.
The key is consistency.
Gonna be in a ballpark taking like baseballs away from boys. Like, you don't
Oh,
need this.
are we going to talk about the Phillies, Karen?
Philly Karen, did you hear about the internet's awesome. The internet turns into a lynch mob so fast. And sometimes they also don't do the best research. So they like yoked up this one school teacher, and these people just start emailing her like, I hope you effing die. She's like, I wasn't at the game.
I did see that. They're like, I am 20 years older, 50 pounds fatter, and a Red Sox fan.
She's like, I wish I was in that good of shape. So when I'm an old man, I'm gonna dress up as other coworkers I know or people I hate. Then I'm gonna do vile things in ballparks, make sure someone's videotaping it, and hope that they get the reckoning.
Yeah, and just like the tennis match we talked about last Thursday, the player came, found the parent and the kid, and gave him a whole bunch of signed memorabilia and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, kid worked out great. Little disappointed with the interwebs not being able to correctly find this lady yet.
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah, I don't love that. So either this lady is completely off the grid and poked her head out once in the past decade to go to a game.
She went to a Trump dinner, just donated to Peter Thiel. He's like,
Yeah.
You never saw me.
They just scrubbed her off the internet.
He's like, not a problem. You did what? It's like, I stole a baseball from a child. Like, $500,000. I'll make it disappear. Like, done.
That's all you did to a child?
Yeah. Like, no island? I'm like, all right, fair enough. This is actually pretty easy.
So speaking of that's all you did to a child.
Hey, now.
As you may remember, a few weeks back, the Wall Street Journal wrote an article about a birthday letter written by Trump to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. The White House immediately denied the letter and called it a hoax because when you really only have one play in your playbook, you run it to death. Even threatening to sue the Wall Street Journal for defamation. Relax, guy. I'll sue you.
I do like the fact that it's a combination of a Shaggy defense and do you know who my dad is? He'll sue you. Like, they combined the two.
And this is why you need to let parents raise their children and not au pairs or whatever these Trump kids had. You need some sort of, accountability. Just even if you don't hit your kids, just that fear you might.
Yeah. It's the thought of a backhand that keeps him in line.
Yeah, not some nanny you can threaten to deport when you're 9 years old.
If I don't get my chocolate, you're going to Venezuela. He's like, I am from Europe. Like, they don't care.
Yeah, ask the Salvadorian we just shipped to Uganda about that.
Yeah, for deporting Koreans, building factories, like, for F's sake. Like, this administration doesn't care. Just wants to get them at 1 million deported and get the plaque.
I'll tell everyone you refuse to touch me.
Yeah. Am I not pretty enough?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. So yesterday, the Epstein estate turned over Uncle Jeffy's big old birthday book to the House Oversight Committee, and you guessed it, inside was a letter from old Donnie Diapers to the disgraced financier. The letter reads as follows. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you ever noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause the podcast now and take a shower and bleach my ears out because it felt gross reading that.
Like, that is a weird birthday card. And do they just call all the kids on the island enigmas?
Let me ask you a question, and this could just be a class or a monetary thing. How long have we known each other?
It's been a couple days.
All right, I'm guessing we're right around 25 years, 30, coming up on?
Close to it.
Yeah. Have you ever given me a birthday card?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So one, shame on you. We don't do that. Where's
Well,
Jesse Waters saying, what kind of man gives another man a birthday card?
just out there eating ice cream instead of towering kids. Like, what?
But also, what a creepy ass card.
Like if you're Don Jr., like this is when you find out your dad writes birthday cards, but saving grace, you're like, maybe they're not that good.
That was maybe the funniest thing I saw on the internet this week.
Yeah. Ideal.
So this letter, all these terrible words that are, burned into the side of your brain now, are all done under center column, right? So they're all dead center of the page. And then drawn around it is a woman's silhouette with no arms, tiny little breasts drawn around the second line of the letter, and Trump's signature at the bottom, which many are saying mimics pubic hair in the placement.
Yeah, I mean, the thing on top of his head mimics pubic hair, so yeah. I'll give him that one.
I will give the White House this. I find the pubic hair thing a bit of a stretch, but, what would they know about pubic hair in this age bracket?
Ain't no grass on them fields that he likes to frequent.
Yeah, turns out they'll play ball anyways. So, I'm no artist, but everybody knows when drawing breasts, there's only 3 acceptable ways of doing it. One is ultra realistic, like as if you're Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel. 2, triangles a la PlayStation era Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. And 3, comically oversized. Hilarious. Just takes up the entire page. So having an itsy bitsy little cup silhouette fits none of those categories, and somehow it makes it even worse.
Yeah, if you guys haven't taken a moment, and I'll make sure to put this in the actual show notes, what this thing even looks like. It's weird. They're definitely not graphic design majors. I'll say that.
Yeah, and it's definitely a cup.
when you like them at 7.
Yeah, exactly. So, God, gross. Now, the White House is doubling down on the hoax talk, disputing the signature at the bottom and blah, blah, blah. And all of this is on the heels of Mike Johnson accidentally telling everybody that Trump was an FBI informant on Epstein before backing off earlier on it on Sunday. Not a great look for the pedo community in D.C. this week.
It's a great look for them. They're having the time of their life. They have one of their own in the White House, allegedly.
Yeah, I did watch a great meme where somebody's like, it's like, I got a great idea. I thought about it in the shower. We're going to tell them you're an FBI informant. But doesn't that mean, but you can only inform if you've already been there and they caught you. I don't want to be an informant. Like, all right, well, just tell them you weren't. And I'll just never mention that I said that again. I hate
I feel like they're going to try to keep rolling with the FBI informant, but they just got way too pushed back. They're just testing the waters every week.
I am really on the fence right now. I think I might hate Mike Johnson more than Elon right now.
Well, that's because Elon's been lying dormant.
Well on his way to that decade-long K-hole to get that $1 trillion.
He's trying to make it for the first year, just blast it out of his mind to make it easier to the next 9.
Ugh. Well, luckily, that's probably all that happened in D.C. so far.
So, the pedo community is doing good, but if you like to beat your wife, it's also a great time for that. Trump came out, he had a little presser, and he said, Washington, D.C., it's a totally safe city. You're not reporting on any crime because there is none. Trump said at the White House on Wednesday, last week. They said crime is down 87%. And I said, no. It's down 100%. Because that's exactly how numbers work. If I come to you and tell you one thing, it's a negotiation. You then toss a number my way, and then your number becomes the norm.
It's kind of like how drug prices are down 1,200%. They're
But
paying you for herpes meds now.
it was 14,000 illegals every minute during the Biden presidency, but it's only been 6 in the past 7 months under Trump. Amazing how you get that.
Yeah, we're actually at negative immigration right now, so pretty good.
They are technically moving out.
Numbers are a construct.
So Trump said it's down 80%. Well, someone told Trump it's down 87% to appease him. He said no, it's down to 11 million percent. The DC police union actually came out and they said it's down 21% since Trump went ahead and deployed the forces in DC. And 21% seems great, but keep in mind, it was already going down. Like, they didn't need to bring in that many people. But they brought in the National Guard from DC and multiple other states, and they also brought in the Alphabet Boys. The same guys who are specialized to deal with terrorism, they brought them into DC, and the best they could do is 21% in a city already at its lowest crime rate in the past decade or so. And number 3, there's still a murder, 2 beatings, and other multiple crimes that took place. So it's not down 1 trillion percent.
According to you.
Yeah. It's like I'm just making up my numbers.
Yeah, I have it right here from the horse's mouth. And if you can't trust the administration, who can you trust?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and weave it right back around to the domestic violence comment I made earlier, and continue with that sentence. Well, the paragraph that Donnie was talking about. Right after he said the crime was down that much, and he said much lesser things that take place in the home, they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with a wife, they say that's a crime. So, yeah, he just went ahead and said that domestic violence, yeah, that's a little tiff that they have, and it shouldn't be labeled as that.
You know what? If you can't trust a guy who is credibly accused of raping his own wife for a little bit of a mishap at home, you know, at this point, you're just looking for it, you know? Scumbag.
It's insane. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, coming out and saying, like, they're just going to get rid of women voting, right?
Buddy, they might be getting rid of women in general at this point.
Once they turn 16, it's over.
Yeah, hard to voice your complaint with a broken jaw, I guess.
Like, for what happened? Like, smell tiff tap. Like, they're literally bringing back she walked into a doorknob policy.
Also, you are no longer allowed to have a bank account unless you are married.
Is the bill they're going to pass for beating your spouse going to be called the Doorknob Protection Act?
You know, it would take Elon to bring something cool like that back, but...
Like, it's going to have a weird acronym called SLAP.
Yeah.
Like, we're funny again. Domestic violence is cool.
I would once again like to take this time to thank the Bible Belt and the breadbasket of American women for all voting for this. This is your fault, and I no longer feel bad for you.
What would Jesus do? He'd use his other fist.
Yeah. Then moonwalk across water, because it's just a made-up fantasy book about a carpenter or a zombie.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So anything happening in the overseas news that we need to touch base on? I know we got a couple of news.
Speaking of super fun and ending wars before they start, Nobel Peace Prize winning, whatever. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a what in the name of God is that? Greta Thunberg is back, and this time she's brought back up after getting hemmed up and turned around by Israel back in June, trying to deliver food to starving war victims or aiding terrorists, depending on where you're listening, getting your news from. This time she's back with a whole damn armada. The global Sumas flotilla is 40 to 70 boats headed to Gaza to provide food and meds to civilians living there and still trying to survive a famine and ongoing genocide.
Well, I don't get this. Like, why do they not let humanitarian aid come in there? I can
Because
understand.
it's really hard to eradicate an entire group of people if they can still heal themselves and eat food.
I guess it's the same thing. Like, if you were bullied, you're gonna grow up to be a bully. Like, it's the same concept. Like, if you were victims of an attempted genocide, like, you're gonna grow up and attempt one yourself.
See, everybody likes to throw out the word genocide. Nobody likes to bring up the fact that in this fake fantasy book, this land was promised to Israel, so that gives them moral clarity to wipe out a whole bunch of people.
I don't get religion, man. It's beyond me. Like, what happened to just, like, love my neighbor? Like, how do you, like, you know what? We're all about, like, the teachings of our prophets, the teaching of all the people, like, be a good person. Like, you have a house where essentially you just bombed a living elf out of an entire race of people and just got them all out there and just made generations upon generations hate you. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I go to a synagogue or I go to a church and, like, I'm still going to heaven. Like, you're not. Like, you're going straight down if there is a hell.
Did you see I sent you an interview with the weird guy, real young kid with weird Jack Black or guy from the White Stripes looking kid, where he's interviewing that gym owner, and he was like, what if a person comes in and they don't want to pay you for using your gym? He's like, no, everybody has to pay. He's like, what if they told you in the Torah it was written that they were allowed to work out here for free? And he was like, no, everybody pays. He was like, what if they tried bombing you for this gym membership?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a big analogy guy, and when you take one thing out and try and explain it a different way, a lot of times it doesn't look great for our closest ally.
It's insane.
I mean, but you know what? It's cool. It's cool. It's not. They can dislike trying to aid these people they're bombing nonstop. It's not like they're going out of their way to blast humanitarians. Hold on, I didn't read this. Unfortunately, not everybody is super cool with humanitarian aid because one of the boats were hit with a small bomb dropped from a drone earlier today.
Same.
Yikes. Tanzania's National Guard said claims of being bombed are false, and it was probably just a cigarette butt that caught on fire. So nothing to see here.
Yeah. Hey, that's technically Tunisia. And yeah, that's Tunisia doing some high quality lying right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of looked dumb when then immediately they released the cell phone video that they have of it. Can't believe some narco-capitalistic terrorist would drop cigarette butts from a drone down onto that poor boat.
That cigarette butt blew up all the hand grenades that was stored in that humanitarian aid ship. This is proof that they're not carrying humanitarian aid, but weapons.
They're pro-Hamas. I don't know what to tell you.
Pineapples don't explode like that.
You know what? I just thought of? They're lucky. They're lucky it was just a small little whoopsie-daisies there, and it wasn't old drunky Brewster Pete Hegseth.
Department of War
fishing boats out of the water.
Yeah, they're also lucky that they weren't located in Qatar because after going after international waters, the Israelis said, cool, you guys aren't going to do anything about that? They loaded up in their fighter jets, screamed YOLO, and started firing at a delegation looking at a ceasefire in Qatar.
What this liberal media won't tell you is they also immediately reached out and said, we are now willing to talk peace.
Because they try to kill the people out there. There's a delegation. They're looking at Qatar. This is also when the whole thing with the Taliban was negotiated at a neutral site. Israel literally gets into their jets loaded with American and UK missiles that we keep providing for them. and goes and launches it at a place at another country where leadership is looking at an effing ceasefire. And they're so backwards in this that they kill some dude's son, but they don't kill any of the leaders of the actual negotiating team, which makes it even worse because now a lot of people have come out. They have condemned this. Like, essentially, if you're a Muslim, like predominantly Muslim country, you condemn the F out of this. And it's not just that. It's a lot of, like, Turkey also condemned it. The UN's condemned it. Our fearless leader has called the people of Qatar, and he said he's very sad about the location of his strike, and that's the extent of that. And he's got the same energy as the Chuck Schumer, like the condemnation TikTok dance that he's currently getting ready to do and send to Israel. But Christ, come on, Israel.
I think it's going to be super interesting because Israel is our number one ally with definitely no strings attached. But
They love us for
Qatar
who we are.
also gave somebody a $400 million plane not too long ago that's only going to cost us $1 billion to re-outfit. So I guess based on how this outcome turns out here in the next week or so, we're going to see exactly how much dirt Israel has.
No, we're about to see a bidding war for our president's military usage. Qatar's going to donate 6 more jets, and Israel's going to say, cool, we have tapes of you doing things.
I am begging the Luigis of the world.
I mean, if anything, Trump can be like, I saved that plane. If that plane was still there, it probably would have been hit by the rocket that I provided to Israel.
So I deserve it.
Yeah. I stopped the plane from getting blown up. Give me that peace prize.
Yikes. Well,
yeah.
I am completely not worried about how any of this is going to turn out.
Thursday episode should be awesome. I think Israel should be just rolling tanks into Egypt by then and just not even trying to kid around, but they're going on a full-on rampage. And I'm sure Trump's going to be saying that he's still threatening Russia with sanctions. And on that wonderful note, I'm Alex Midway.
And I'm Eric Halsey. Give anyone the Nobel Peace Prize but this guy.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.